Aha! Here we go. How's that, mate? Where are you? Tell us about yourself. Tell us about where you are, mate.
I'm in Guatemala. Man, this is a cool spot. This is Central America. We're just south of Mexico. So we
Yeah,
call ourselves, there's a big river separating Texas, where I'm from, with the rest of
yeah,
Latin America, called the Rio Grande. Very, very
yeah.
famous river. So we call ourselves the best barbecue restaurant south of the big river. Yeah,
Sensei.
this is a cool spot. We got a
So,
good staff. We got great people here.
so what's the story then? What took you from Texas to Guatemala?
I had a company in Texas. I sold it and was on a trip around the world, and ended up coming to Guatemala on a trip around the world. This was my first stop, and ended up staying. And then
Yeah.
fell in love, and fell in love with a very nice woman. She's made a good man out of me, and we opened up the barbecue restaurant together. So now we got a barbecue restaurant, man. It's great.
And the barbecue restaurant, is that Pappy's Barbecue, is it?
It is. It is.
And tell us, you were saying that it's the biggest barbecue restaurant in South America, in Central America, so south of the Rio Grande, the big river. So
Yeah,
what makes it?
we're definitely the best, and we're one of the most award-winning in this country, and we're definitely the
Yeah.
biggest in Guatemala. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a couple in Mexico that may hold a candle to what we do. That's
Yeah.
about it.
But
Yeah, it's
what's
not a
your
big
dish?
culture. I mean, in the UK, is barbecue a big culture?
Over here in the UK? Well, I've got a bit of a mixed story. I'm actually Australian, and I came over to London about 20 years ago. So
Okay.
I've been barbecuing, but it's more sort of social barbecue there. You know, prawns on the barbecue, kebabs, steaks, sausage. You know, it's all grilling. Every weekend is a barbecue there. And then I came over here to the UK, where they think the weather, stops the barbecuing. You know, it shouldn't stop them at all. That doesn't really need to stop you at all. And barbecue isn't so much about the cooking; it's about the event as well, the party, the getting together. So that's what I've tried to do. Say, hey, let's have a barbecue. Let's all get together. Let's enjoy each other's
Right.
company, so on and forth. And that's why I started the
Kind of
Instagram. Then I just
difficult,
barbecue like
kind of
what you
difficult
do.
these days with the social distancing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's endless, and it's an endless journey. It's ongoing, mate. It's just like the more you get into it, the more you know, the more people you meet, the more wonderful you come across.
Yeah. But we always call it, we don't call this a business. We call it a culture, right? It's definitely a
Yes.
culture.
So, what are you guys known for where you are there? Then, what's your biggest seller on your menu? What does everyone go? Hey, I'm going down to Pappy's Barbecue for the what?
Sure, man. We do Texas style barbecue, which is dry rub smoked meats. So let me show you. Let me show you our smokers.
Okay.
This is our smoker called the Dudette. We call it the Dudette because we stuff it full of meat.
Yeah.
So we got two doors, 2 levels, 3 feet wide. Beautiful
Yeah.
smoker. That one's on when we're in high volume. Then we got this guy over here.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
So this is just a horizontal smoker.
Yeah.
All this stuff is usually cooked in the morning, but I wanted to have a brisket here for you that we're gonna wrap up for you.
Okay.
So this is a brisket just before it gets wrapped. So it's probably about 150 to 155 degrees right now.
Yeah. Yeah. How
We got the
it's getting ready
chickens.
for wrap stage then, is it?
Yeah. So this is right where we like to wrap it. It's got this
Okay.
real nice crust on the outside. It's got a little bit of flexibility, but not too flimsy. You know, we mostly do everything by feel. We got 8 years in the market. We use only white oak.
Okay.
We really got a real
Is that
we're
sourced
fire
locally then? Is there a big white oak tree population?
Yeah, there is. It's actually an invasive species here in Guatemala, so it's a good meat. It's a good wood to have on hand for barbecues.
Yeah. And then what sort of rubs are you using? You got your own secret recipe?
No, man, I wear everything on my sleeve. We don't do anything secret back here, but what we have is experience. And this guy right here, this is, we call him Mini Me. He's the first employee that we ever had.
Yeah.
He used to get here in the kitchen at 1 a.m. in the morning to start the fires every day.
Mate,
so this guy's got some brisket under his belt.
Yeah. What's his favorite dish off your menu then? If the chef, I'm going to hear it from the chef.
He loves the ribs.
Ah.
The brisket, he says, is the best. The brisket is the best thing we do. For sure. So we're going to show you a brisket. You mind? You ready to see some food porn?
Bring it on, bring it on. Will I get to see a bit of a smoke ring? Will I get to see a bit of brisket lipstick there? Will I?
You better believe it, man. Our briskets go for minimum an hour a pound. So you saw the size of the brisket. That's about a 12, maybe 13er that was on the fire there. That was just to show you. Remember, most of our stuff gets done really early in the mornings.
Yeah, yeah.
So that one would have gone for about probably 4.5 hours right now. This one that I'm pulling out right here, this is about an 18-hour brisket.
Wow. Okay.
And it's been roasting for the past hour.
Holy smoke. That's a brisket. My gosh. There's a guy on there. There's a guy watching me cook. He'll be jumping up and down in his little ginger beard right at the moment. Oh. My gosh. And
it's like Christmas every day.
Wow.
Look at that juiciness. Look at that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to save some of those juices on another plate here.
Yeah.
Look at that. You see that, man? We're going to save those, and we're going to rewrap this up.
Yeah.
And we're going to get those juices back. You know, the secret to a good brisket, there's a little secret that nobody talks about. And I don't know why, but this is like the biggest secret you can do.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's the time that you chill the brisket, right? The slower you can cool the brisket to edible temperature, which is about 160, 150 degrees.
Yeah.
The slower you can cool that, because right now it's sitting about 190, 195. The slower you can cool that down, if it takes 3 hours to cool that, you're going to have some really amazingly juicy brisket.
Ah, so how do you control that cooling process, mate? Is that foil or is
that? Yeah, exactly. This has only been cooling for about an hour, and look at all the runoff. All this juice needs to get back into the meat. So it needs about 2 more hours to do that.
So once you've done that, and you've got that meat all ready for slicing, okay. Wow, look at that. Oh, man. Okay, Google, book me a ticket to Guatemala.
Look at that. So we got the point, we got the flag, we got a whole packer brisket here.
Something. Well, sorry, mate.
All right, you ready to crack this open?
Sorry about that. My Google was asking me when did I want to fly. And she didn't catch that eye. Google.
You ready to crack this open?
6th of August is the first flight, I'm afraid, mate.
That's good. That's good. All right. We're going to slice it right here. What do you think? Right here?
Wow. Oh my God. I think everyone out there is watching this. This is intense. Oh, wow. So you've got the technique, you cut it. There's, I'm not a super expert, but you've got the technique of cutting the flat and the point and at the right angles at the right point in time. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. So we're gonna save these. These are good parts. So we're gonna save those. We're gonna wrap those up. We're gonna eat this right here. So we got our we trim a lot. You know, we keep about a 1/4 inch of fat on the tops of our brisket because we want that smoke ring to penetrate a little bit in there and that flavor to penetrate. You can see the smoke ring here on the corner.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, I think the couple of brisket or the few briskets I've done, I think I over trim the fat sometimes. You know, I think I've got to be a little bit more generous and a little bit more on. Wow.
Look at that.
That's just perfect. Can we try the finger bend? I know it's hot. Oh,
Look at that. That stays together real nice. It's real hot.
okay. And
This one needs to rest 2 more hours.
Needs about 2 more hours, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that flavor is spot on.
Oh. Now I can see you've got an Angus beef side in the background. So what beef are you using to make this brisket? Like you must be sourcing something special to get brisket like that.
What was the question?
You must be sourcing something special to get brisket like that. In the UK, it's very difficult to get the right brisket. There's a couple of butchers that do really, really good briskets. Other ones, a little bit hard. But you must be sourcing something special. Where do you get it from? What's your special breed or?
You know, because we're so close to the equator, it's really difficult to get good beef. You know, really good beef, it has to shiver a little bit. It has to get cold because that really gets that integrated fat inside of the meat. That's that connective tissue that's stored inside of all those muscle fibers. When you get that, you end up with this other level of quality of meat. We use certified Angus beef because it's very consistent here.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just curious. You don't go for the USDA or something out of the States? Is something a little bit locally made, produced, or if I can ask, that is, if it's not a secret there?
Yeah, the certified Angus beef is a USA product.
Okay.
It's a USA product.
Okay. Yeah, well, Angus is obviously Scottish from up these parts, so you know it is good. It's hard to find the right one here, but there are a couple of good suppliers here. But I'm glad to see you've cracked it there. How do you serve that to the customer? What do you do with that brisket there? You serve it in buns, or you plate it up and serve it as a bit of a platter, or how does your menu work? How do you serve that one up?
Voy a ir por los bolsas empacados. Frío. So what we've been doing lately is because of this whole COVID thing, Mini-Me is going to go grab a sample real quick from the kitchen. We pack it, we vacuum seal it. So we've been vacuum sealing it by the half pound, and we've been sending it to clients, and then they heat it up in a water bath. In like a sous vide. So they'll reheat it, and then they'll put it on whatever they want. So if they want to do a sandwich, if they want to do a plate of meat, they can do it however they want.
Nice. How long does it last in the post? I.e., you can see where I'm going with this question.
How long does it last in the bag?
How long does it last in the post?
We do deliveries, so we don't mail it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it can be some. We can figure it out. Put some dry ice in there, and freeze it, and send it to you. Yeah.
I love it, mate. I love it.
Yeah, we've been really lucky with the good clientele that we've had lately. They've all been local.
Okay. Are you opening up again as a restaurant fairly soon, or I'm not familiar with how COVID's affected you there, but will you be opening soon and back as a restaurant, or?
You know, Hillary, our president is a doctor here in Guatemala.
Yeah.
So he's taking super precautions. He's actually really good. He's really cool. and he's taking a lot of precautions. He's doing things right. He's really good at communicating with the people. And last night, or today even, I think he communicated that he's going to open up in August. So I think the restaurant will open up in August. So it'll be some time.
Okay. Okay, that works out perfect. That's when Google said the first flights were available.
Yeah, that's when you can come, right? Definitely. Here we go. So this is how we've got it.
Okay. Wow.
Here's a nice fat. See the little 1/4 inch of fat. Nice smoke ring, integrated fat.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. I'm thinking what I'd do with that is on a little bit of a sort of soft taco, you know, and sort of wrap it there, you know. I've got some chimichurri.
Here locally, they call them panza verdes, which means green bellies. They call them that because they eat so many avocados.
Ah.
Brisket avocado tacos. Oh, a little bit of cheese on top.
My.
Ouch, that sounds so good.
I'm so stealing that idea.
Yeah, that's a good one. They call it the Democrat. Keep that in mind.
They call it the
in Texas, it's a famous taco. We call it the Democrat.
Democrat. Okay.
Yeah, it's brisket, avocado, and cheese.
That's great, mate. That's great. There's a question here in from Confessions of a Food Freak. What part of Guatemala is your restaurant? Maybe tell us a bit about Guatemala and where you are. How's that? Well, we're not so familiar.
Sure. Guatemala is geopolitically perfectly placed because it's south of Mexico. It's a smaller country. It's about 17 million people here in the whole country, of which about 5 million live in the major city, which is Guatemala City. Now, we're in a little colonial city. Interesting story about this city is it was the first capital of the Western Hemisphere for Spain. So when Spain came over from Europe and they settled here in the Western Hemisphere, this was the capital city. There's a church down the street here that has a date over it that's 1521. Can you believe that?
Amazing.
1521. Wow. It's one of the oldest structures in the entire Western Hemisphere. It's incredible. It's incredible. We're in this little bitty town. It's 1 mile by 1 mile. And get this, in this little 1 mile by 1 mile square mile, there was in January before COVID, there was 370 restaurants. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Just it was the tourist town of the country. So we're right in the middle of that. We got a great location about a block from the Central Park.
Yeah.
And everybody loves coming for Texas barbecue.
Nice. Is it fairly unique there? The Texas barbecue that you're doing there? There's not a lot of other barbecue, or is there any local specialities compared to the Texas barbecue?
I mean, the food here in Guatemala is very cultural rich. You can see it's obviously developed by not having access to refrigeration. The weather here can be really hot some days, it can be really cold some days. We're at altitude, so it's a little bit more stable. But still, the local food is not the most incredible. So in this little town, we do have a large diversity of different foods. We are, by the way, the only barbecue restaurant that's real barbecue in the country.
Oh, sensational.
So we invite the competition.
It seems like you've done really well, mate, and your brisket looks sensational. I'm guessing, Mini Me says your ribs are doing well, so, I think that's pretty much it within the menu. Do they do much pork down there at all? Do you do pork ribs or any sort of pork dishes down there as well, or mostly?
The pork here is good. We've got a mix of a Duroc and more of like a free-range pig. I think it's a Hampshire. So it's a good mix. It's a really nice meat on the bone rib. You know what I mean? You got a little bone, and normally when you're eating ribs, you get the meat between the bones. Not here at our restaurant. We really focus with the butcher to make sure that it's a local butcher, to make sure that we get massive amount of meats on top of the bones. So actually our ribs will look similar to our brisket.
Okay.
Just because that's how That's how tall they are. But you know, that's what you get when you get the local stuff. You know, you get to control it a little bit more.
Nice, nice, yeah, yeah. There's a good butcher here that does some breeding with Duroc, and I mean, I'm not totally familiar with all of the animal husbandry, etc. But when they explained it and all the breeding herds that they have, and he has one of the most famous pieces of pork here in the UK, and his stuff is sensational. The pork is out of this park. I think in a couple of episodes we're going to feature his pork. It's called Dingley Dell, which is kind of a very English name, if you like, but Dingley Dell pork over here, and that's all Duroc breed, and that pork is just off the scale. We get Spanish pork over here too. We get a bit of the Iberico type stuff, you know.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. We get quite a lot of You get a nice Iberico loin. The ribs I haven't, you know, really nailed it on any Iberico ribs. They tend to be a bit leaner, but their pork tends to be pretty. Oh, sorry, I've lost my focus. Yeah, I'm looking at your picture, mate.
Burn in.
So
I love
when
these
your
little nuggets.
when your restaurant opens, what are you going to serve that with? What's going to be on the menu? Is there some local sides, or are it going to be Texas sides? Is it a chimichurri? What are you going to serve that with when your restaurant opens again?
We're in a really unsaturated market here of barbecue.
Right.
So we kind of have to stick to the basics.
Okay.
We'll put this in a bun.
Yeah.
And, baguette, right?
Yeah.
With onions and pickles, a little bit of sauce, and then we'll throw some French fries on the side. We do a Texas seasoning on our French fries, so we do a real thin cut French fry, real crispy on the outside, real hollow on the inside, you know, really airy on the inside. And we'll do a little Texas seasoning, which has got salt, black pepper, a little cayenne, paprika, onion powder, and a little garlic powder in there. It's so good. Or we do our Texas baked beans, which we put our leftover chunks when we're cleaning up our ribs. We're making them real pretty. We got a lot of leftovers, and we throw those into the beans. So we got really nice beans. One of my favorites actually is my mama's potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my mother's recipe. She came up with it years ago. It's delicious and it's easy to make. And you know, we just rotate it. We make it like 3-4 times a day. Make it fresh, and it's so good. And, you know, so then we have coleslaw. We also have a corn, spicy corn with little jalapenos in it.
Yeah.
Corn is so big. Then we have green beans, and that's it. Keep it real simple.
Sensational. Yeah. Look, mate.
To eat next to a brisket.
Yeah. No, the brisket needs to lead in the dish. You need to get the flavor out of the brisket, and all of the sides are just sort of, you know,
right.
You know, to kill the spaces in the middle whilst you're savouring the brisket flavor. You know. But where did you learn your trade? How long have you been doing this to get to the expertise, the skill level that you've got to here, mate?
Hillary, I'm born with it, man. It's in my blood. I'm Texan, bud.
It's instinct.
It's natural. I learned how to walk and I learned how to barbecue. Same thing.
Well,
to be honest, it took years. We're always improving. You know, we're always learning. We're always trying to figure things out. We're always improving our product. I mean, if you'd have seen us 8 years ago, if you'd have seen us 5 years ago, if you'd have seen us last year, it was a completely different. You know, we're always trying to make things better. We're always trying to improve. You know, we're always making comments. Me's been here since the beginning, so he's really easy. And our second employee is named Dos.
Yeah.
Which means two in Spanish, right? He was actually our second employee. He's in the kitchen right now.
Dos Equus.
Our third guy, I don't know his real name, but we call him Charlie. No idea what his real name is. But he's been with us 8 years as well. And he was just here. He's around here somewhere too. So we've got this team that's just kind of this family that's just grown out of our restaurant. It's incredible working with these guys because, you know, you need, like this one.
Yeah.
I've got some comments, man. I've got a couple comments. It probably didn't get up to temperature the way that it should have. So it's not as tender as it should be. You know, it passes the bend test, but it's still, and it's juicy, but the connective tissue didn't come out. So maybe it was a little lower in temperature than it should have been. and I should be able to put my finger right into it. Well, that was pretty easy, but it should be a little bit more tender than that. I can tell these guys directly to their face, and they're going to be here tomorrow. They're going to be here next month. They're going to be here next year, and they just keep improving, keep growing. You know,
mate. Well, it sounds like you're doing really well, anyway, mate. It sounds awesome what you're doing down there. You know.
What's your favorite side with brisket? What do you like to eat?
I'm fairly simple. I like a coleslaw, brisket, cold in a bun. You know, that's it. Home and host with a bit of corn on the side, spicy corn on the side, pickle. You got to have pickle. You know.
Oh, you got brisket, pickles, and onions. It's a staple.
Yeah, that's it. I'm simple. There's nothing complicated here. You know, there's nothing fancy like this shirt. It's just brisket, pickle, coleslaw, maybe a bit of jalapeno in there if you can get a bit of jalapeno in there. Or there's one crowd here in London. They make this jalapeno jam.
Ooh.
This stuff is to die for, mate. You know, I'm trying to get buckets out of them, right? Because it's this.
you put that slather around the biscuit, right?
Yeah, that have a look into that one. Have a look into a jalapeno jam, mate. If you get a moment, and yeah, that for me it takes it to another level. Yeah, they call it jal jam.
How do you measure a jalapeno jam? Like, what's the system to know that it's like really amazing? Is it the spice level? Is it the texture? Is it the sweetness?
Oh, it's the yeah, it's the I don't know. I think there's a texture to it. There's a texture and there's a balance to it. Yeah, it's sort of it is a jam. It is like raspberry jam in consistency, right? But spicy and sweet. So it's like raspberry jam, but just made out of jalapeno.
I'm gonna see if I can pull out something here for you. We're gonna try something. ¿Está bueno listo? Sí.
And I want to show you something as well, right? This is something a bit different that you don't get to see. This is my cat. Can you see him there? This is a little bit random, but seeing as you're in Central America, you might get to know it. But his name is Queso Manchego.
Nice. Queso Manchego. What's up, Queso?
Queso Manchego. Ow. All right.
What does that mean? Where did you get that name?
Well, we had the name first because our favorite cheese is Queso Manchego. So, you know.
Okay.
And then a cat, and he's a British short hair. He's a beautiful cat, but yeah, he really is a big cheese. But yeah. So I thought you'd like that, being from this, knowing the Spanish dialect there. That's about
Nice. Love it. Check this out.
So what can we see out there? Oh, that's a nice one.
That is a beautifully smoked chicken. This is a Texas-style dry rub.
Yeah.
And it's just these when you smoke chicken, they just get so incredibly tender.
Wow. This was done on your flat stick. How long did it take to get to that texture, to that cooking?
Like 3 hours.
3 hours. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
look at that. We don't even like to cut it with a knife because when you cut it, it gets little pieces of bone. So we just separate it with the back of a knife, the blunt end of a knife.
Yeah.
And we just, look at that. It just falls right apart.
Oh my. I've never done anything like that. Oh. Mini-me to your partner there. Wow. I have not seen chicken like that. That is wow.
Mm. Oh.
Oh my God.
just falls apart. That is a piece of chicken, man.
Well, you impressed me with your chicken, and now you've just completely and utterly blown me. Sorry, you impressed me with your brisket, and now you've just blown me away with your chicken. I've never seen anything like that. That is sensational. Oh, my. Lord Slug says, I thought porn wasn't allowed on here.
That is just a boneless chicken thigh. So tender and juicy right there.
Wow. I think we need you in London, mate. I think we need barbecue, Pappy's Barbecue London edition. What do you reckon?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do
it. We'll find a space. We'll make this happen. We're down there in August when the flight, according to Google.
Oh, that is hot. That is no fun because that is hot.
All right. Well, it's been a big evening. It's been a big day. It's been a big show, and you've been a very big part of it. And your brisket and what you're doing there has been sensational, mate. I'm very thankful for you joining us, and you've made a lot of us so hungry. That brisket is sensational, and I don't think I've ever seen a chicken like that before.
No, really?
No.
That's the best chicken right there.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, look at this. It's
too
hot to touch. But look at that. Just
wow.
There goes the bone right there. So this is a boneless piece of chicken right here.
No.
Just get this little guy out.
You're doing
too hot
at the moment that only things only my wife should do.
Chicken skin taco.
Blake, I think on that note, you've shown us something absolutely sensational, and it was an absolute honor. And thank you so much for joining us, mate. Really.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you.
Let's do a follow up with our pulled pork and stuff.
Pork, I'm loving.
I don't mind sharing secrets because there's not a whole lot of competition. You know what I mean? we could play. We could have some fun. I want you to try brisket. I heard that you'd only done a brisket once on your pellet smoker.
Oh, who told you that? Who told you?
Ready to try brisket?
I'll get ready.
You said it minutes before I came on.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give it a go, and then you can judge. You can tell me how I went, mate. How's that?
I can talk you through the whole process from selecting the meat, what to look for in a good piece of meat, how to trim it up, where to get that really nice fat, how to season it. You know, we call it the Michael Jackson. It's half white, half black.
Okay.
It's, with black pepper and salt, right? And that's it. It's so simple. Simple. When you get the simplicity down, when you get the science down, everything just kind of falls into place and it becomes amazing. It's amazingly easy.
Okay. Well, I'm getting here from a Penny Smith. I'm sensing a brisket challenge. I think Jack and I are going to have to do a brisket challenge, and you can be the judge.
I can do that. Get yourself some Packer briskets and go for it,
mate. Full pack of briskets. All right. We know some places here, so we'll talk about it. All right, mate. I think I've got to head off anyway now. So I think that's it. But thank you.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
And thanks, mate, for joining us, man.
Enjoy that steak, man.
Oh, it's going to get murdered in a minute, mate. It's going down quicker than the Titanic.
Good deal, bud. Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Have a lovely day, and thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.